Hello everyone, I'm Zeenat Firdaus and I have Dr. Sukant Khurana with me, who is a well-known entrepreneur, mentor, public speaker and a scientist. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah. So, we'll talk about body language in this session. So, body language is a very important aspect in professional setup, right? But is
Yeah,
body language more than posture?
yeah, absolutely. Um, it has got multiple aspects to it. Let's just sort of put it in 11 categories. I mean, all categorization, as you know, end of the day is partially artificial. One of them is para language. How does your language modulate, right? Are you paying more importance to some words, right, or not? What is the tone and things like that? So when you speak, right, one can understand if you're anxious from the way you speak, right? One can feel confidence from the way one speaks. So paralanguage becomes very important because the pitch, tone, and the cadence of it. It's part of the overall non-verbal communication in some ways. Then there are hand gestures. So these hand gestures can be extremely important in people understanding what you're saying. Right? This is what often people think of when they think of body language, but it's more than that. Then there are things like emblems. Right? What do we mean by emblems? Emblems are symbolic cues, right? These are things like okay, thumbs up, right? Okay, and some of these can change based on culture. Like in USA, this is a victory sign. In UK, it's kind of asking somebody to go away. I'm just putting it politely, right? So, and so some of them are common across cultures, and one should know some can be offensive, right? Like hand gesture, this might mean a power thing or something, and this might in South America mean again to vanish away, very disrespectfully. So there are certain such aspects of emblems which matter quite a bit, and they're part of our daily communication. Blocking becomes very important. So you may not be moving much, but if you're sitting this way, blocking, right? Even blocking this way, like hiding, you're sort of blocking someone else by having. Let's say if I was like this, I'm blocking you, right? I don't want to face you. Okay, so that blocking gesture, if anyone is experienced, they'll see that blocking, and it can be done in multiple ways. How you move in space, right? Proximies. So that becomes proxemics matters, right? You can figure out what the social rank hierarchy is based on proxemics. Interest. Are you interested in something? And it shows in more than one way. My body language could even be that if I'm unable to hear you, I might do this, right? I may not even need to say that repeat. I may say, like, speak up, right? That's my way of saying, but I'm actually showing interest in what you're saying. That's non-verbal communication. The interest could even be simply looking in the right direction instead of looking at my cell phone. Body language also involves facial features. Am I broadly happy, paying attention, like this gesture, or interesting? Um, Smiling not necessarily with my lips, which is this, but instead smiling with eyes, which is more of like, you can see sort of wrinkles there, and you can figure out the difference between real smile and fake smile. And sort of pacifying behavior. Pacifying behavior can even be you're sort of trying to assure yourself, you're fidgeting, right? Or you're just holding your own hand because you've got no one else to hold your hands, right? All these are pacifying behaviors. Even this common one is a pacifying behavior. You're trying to calm yourself down, right? Uh, so some of these behaviors, which I'm even calling pacifying, they sort of overlap into some of the blocking behaviors and some other things, but essentially, they reflect a bit of anxiety, some level, right? right? So this pacifying behaviors are important signs of what the person is feeling. Haptics, right? How you touch people, how you're putting your hands on their shoulder, patting them on the back, shaking their hands. That's haptics, and that becomes quite relevant. And you can have a firm handshake, you can have overly firm handshake, like you're trying to wrestle, or you can have a dead fish handshake, right? It all tells something about you, and you may choose sometimes wisely not to have a handshake and nod the head and see what the other person wants to do because something else might be appropriate based on the culture and the context. Then there is eye gaze. Where are you looking? Bit of all of this is even your ornaments. What are you wearing? Okay. What are your clothes? Everything is ornament. End of the day, what glasses are you wearing? And kind of tells what mood you're in. Right? I often say that look, I have a habit of dressing slightly different than what everyone else would dress, and that's often called peacocking. Do you have um, courage to stand out for the right reasons? You could also be standing out way too much for no obvious reason because you've nothing else but just getting attention on yourself, right? So to find your own style, but the way you dress can sort of, you know, draw attention to you in a particular manner, can have implication in terms of what people think of your professional sort of standing, conduct, and everything. So these are all, I basically would even sort of again repeat broadly for somebody who wants to look up all these things. One is para language, second are gestures, third are emblems, fourth is blocking, fifth is proxemics, sixth is interest, seventh is facial expressions, then are pacifying behaviors, eighth, ninth is haptics, 10th is eye gaze, and 11th are ornaments. So these are all part of a non-verbal communication where people are not just simply judging what words you're saying, but overall message that's going out. So all these are important in a professional setting and even in a personal setting.
Yeah, this was very interesting, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Zina.
Anyone who is interested in free training at Ioncure can apply at volunteer at the rate ioncureRx.com. Thank you.